Hey, what's up? It's Turk, the host of the Morning Bounce on 101.3 The Bounce with Anna and Amateur Alex.
How's it going?
Today we're going to tell you 5 simple steps on how to get the most out of every single phone call. Step 1. Make sure to always have a full list of every question you want to ask your listeners. If you go into a phone call not knowing how you're going to get out of it, you're just going to get lost and confuse them too. What do you think? Yeah. Make a list. Also, when you're asking your questions, you don't want to ask every single listener that calls in the same question in the same way and then just get their story. You want to have different avenues. Stick to the topic, but give them different scenarios. What do you think, Amateur Alex?
Yeah, that's great.
Example, if you're talking about cheating, don't just say, hey, have you ever been cheated on? And then get their story. Listener 1, listener 2, listener 3. This will become very repetitive. What you need to do is ask them it in a different way. For example, listener 1, have you ever been cheated on?
What happened?
Yeah. Didn't know he was coming in there. Caught me off guard. What happened's a great question. Did you forgive him? Did you give him another chance? Does it make dating new people difficult? Listener number 2 gets on the phone. You're still talking about cheating, but you need to go in a different direction. Here's an avenue. After a long day of work, you came home, you opened the door, you walked in, bam, there he is, cheating on you. What do? What if it was your best friend? What if it was somebody he works with? Those are all different avenues, making the phone call less repetitive. Knowing how you want your phone call to end is a helpful tool that's going to help out a lot. If you just answer the phone call and just start asking questions, but you really don't know where you're going with it, they're going to be confused, you're going to be confused, then you're left with a whole lot of editing. Know exactly what you want to ask, get their response, and know how you're going to get out. Make it timely. Another thing, make sure your topics are short, simple, and relatable. If you can't think of a personal story within 10 seconds of asking your own question, chances are your listener's not going to be able to either, which means they're not going to call in. A great way to make this simple is to simplify your execution. Get right to the question, in and out. Here's a poor execution. Last night I was at the movie theaters. I was standing in line. I was trying to get popcorn and drinks and started hearing all this commotion. I looked over and I was thinking, what was going on? So I started walking towards theater number 2 and then boom, there it was. Man, it looked like people were fighting, people were arguing, pulling each other's hair. So I popped in there to see what was happening. There was 2 old people fighting over spilled popcorn. It was crazy. It was nuts. I mean, the cops were called. I thought the movie was being shot right there in the lobby. I said way too much right there.
You lost me.
Lost him, lost you. Simplify the question, get right to the point. Last night, I was at the movies. There was some commotion. Man, it was 2 old ladies fighting. There were canes and walkers going everywhere. What's the craziest thing you ever seen at a movie theater? Did I lose you?
No, that's great. Tell me more about the canes.
No. Here's something big that helps me and my morning show out. We like to be a day in advance, so every question we're actually asking listeners today will air tomorrow, and everything we asked yesterday is airing today. This allows us to fully have an effective show. We already know we have phone calls, so if nobody called that day, guess what? The show still sounds great. Step 2. Every listener that calls your show answers 2 questions. This allows you to knock out 2 topics using half the amount of callers. For example, if you do 2 topics a day and you need 5 phone calls for each topic to be successful, that's a total of 10 calls. But if you ask the first 5 listeners both questions, you now have 10 calls only talking to 5 people. It's simple math. 5 listeners plus 2 questions asked to each listener equals 2 topics a show with 5 calls to each. Minimize your work and extract as much as you possibly can. Step 3. Sometimes a listener will call up and give you a different point of view on the same topic. This is awesome when it happens. You can literally take the one caller and make 3 different phone breaks out of it. How do you get away with it without it sounding like the same person? Just change the pitch of their voice. Take it down an octave or up an octave, creating 3 different breaks that literally sounds like 3 different people, when in fact it's just one person.
But you know that animals are never doing anything malicious to you either, so I guess that's probably why. But you know that animals are never doing anything malicious to you either, so I guess that's probably why.
Step 4. Make sure to label every single phone call and archive it. You never know when something that you did 6 months ago is going to be relative to something you're doing today. Recycling is always good. Step 5. Create folders in your Vox Pro so you can properly place your phone calls. For example, I have a folder titled Morning Bounce. That's everything new and current. That's phone calls that we're going to play on the show either today, tomorrow, maybe even a week from now. I also have a folder titled Older Stuff. This folder is for every phone call that I've taken from the past year. It's an archive of things that are properly labeled, so if I ever need to go back and find something that I might want to recycle, I know where to go. I also have a folder titled Laughs. It's simply a montage of great laughs, everything from guys to girls to even us sometimes. So if I ever think of a punchline after the fact, I can simply insert my punchline, then go find a laugh that is suitable to the sound of my listener.
That's a good one.
Another great folder would be voice parts. These are reactions. Maybe it's a scream or a, oh my god, or it's just questions or responses to questions. These voice parts are going to make it easy for you to create a phone call from scratch.
Hi, how are you? Good. I'm just calling to see when the next time to qualify for the tickets is. Perfect, thanks. Bye.
Hello? Yeah? It is nerve-wracking. We called last night, and we called yesterday like 10 times. We've been waiting for it. We're getting ready. Hi, is this for the concert ticket? Oh, yeah. Yeah? Okay, thanks. Yay! All right, my dear, and thank you. You guys have a great day. Well, I'm calling now. Say I'm 10. Make my daughter happy. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Great. I'm calling in with the tickets. I'm well, thank you. How are you? I'm caller 10. Oh, my daughter's going to be so happy. Oh, thank you so much.
So maybe you're giving away Justin Bieber tickets, but you don't have a phone call to air. Yeah, you could simply go on the radio and say, hey, I'm giving away Justin Bieber tickets in about 5 minutes, but it'd be a lot better to have some listener reactions. So, I'm giving away Justin Bieber tickets in 5 minutes. Let me just go to my folder real quick and get a little response. Oh my god, Justin Bieber! That's right, I think you're going to be our next big winner. Record insert. Oh my god, I love you guys so much. We have now built a phone call from the bottom up.
Nice.
By following these 5 simple steps, it's allowed us on the Morning Bounce to have a show full of phone calls, features, and contesting. 90 to 95% of everything we do has some sort of listener interaction.